All right, folks, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon, May 15th. That's actually 051525. That's the date here, actually. Kind of funky number there, right? Great to have Bill, Gillis, Leda, Roberto, all of our students alike inside our live trading room. Pardon me, I'm a nerd with my numbers, my statistics. Great to have all of us, though, here. Otherwise, Margaret, I saw Bill, I saw Tex, I saw Charles, Ron, Thomas, Barbara, all of us, though, here inside our live trading room. And if you're joining us back on social media, popping up right there in front of my ugly mug, just on the lower left, at Cyber Trading You. If you're new to our streams, social media, namely our YouTube, of course, if you're joining us on X, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., just follow us right there on YouTube at Cyber Trading You. But right now, we have this SEPN trade just on the screen. I know I was just chatting with Alex just before one of our students, and I think he's in it with me. And, listen, this was a stock from yesterday that had a big pop to it. Nothing came of it, right? Just dumped back down. We wiped our hands clean pretty early on with it. But that's where, at least, hey, if you're scanning around and you circle back to a trade like this and it's starting to move back up again, and you look at the graph, building now higher lows. Well, what was the news out on this company again? Because we don't, just jump into a trade because of news. Remember what I just went over a second ago there, like the trend, the fact that we're scanning more for the afternoon. And if this is showing higher lows, I'll check the spread, make sure it's tradable. But there was some news yesterday that led it to make a big pop at first. And we thought that that was enough to at least see higher highs later on. We just didn't get it. So Septerna shares trading higher after the company announced, and I'll just drag this up for all of us here so we can all read. After the company announced an exclusive global collaboration and license agreement with Novo NVO. So it's to develop their small molecule medicines for obesity, so weight loss drugs, type 2 diabetes, etc. All right, so hey, heading into the afternoon now, it's still down 1% from yesterday's closing price, so it still has a ways to go. I'm only starting off with showing this trade to you here because I'm in it, and we were just talking about it earlier inside our live room. So, do I put this on our list? Not just yet, even. If it pops for us, great, because we called it out exclusively first inside our room. So hopefully more than just Alex is in this trade with myself here. But hey, if it wants to prove itself to us and pops more during this meeting, I'll put it on our list, of course. But I want to focus on stocks that are up more percentage wise, maybe even down more percentage wise. So we'll just go across the percent gainers and losers lists here and see what we got. We'll recap any of the moves that we had from earlier this morning. And of course, markets are pushing back on up right now. It's been a gorgeous day out here in the market, let alone outside. So starting from the top, Foot Locker, it's a buyout, right? We knew that heading into the day today, and I've only been accruing more pictures of buyouts recently because I've been slacking on them. I've had like 3 or 4 recently just from the last 2 weeks, but this may as well join the collection. Just take a little snapshot there, but we're not going to trade these stocks. The buyouts don't move. So moving onward here, AYTU, hey, it's actually still pushing up pretty nicely. A little bit slow, but hopefully there's more to it. Obviously tradable if it's going to be slow like this. So yeah, 30,000 share sell order out there at 235. Not much really to show for it otherwise from there. Nothing as much on the bid. That's fine. But hey, it's tradable. It's liquid. It's inexpensive. It's moving up pretty slow, but slow and steady. We'll come back to it. We'll definitely put this on our list, though. KDLY. And there was some news that came out on this trade, too, the other day. So part of my reasoning with my trade, the SEPN, was actually because not just this, but there were some other former names, familiar names from the last week or two that made these big pops. So I wanted to check in on them. But this one here started off pretty good at the open. So we called this one out as well early on. What was the news on this one, folks? Just trying to check myself here. Oh, yeah, this is the Nakamoto one. All right. So KDLY, this company merged with this company Nakamoto, as in Satoshi Nakamoto, crypto. So it's a Bitcoin related stock. It's a new Bitcoin treasury related stock. This made the same type of news that ASST did back the other day as well. So this was my trade from earlier. Got in off of $5. Resistance flipped into support. Beautiful move. I got out a little early, but that's fine. As long as it makes us money and it was pretty decent profit to begin with, then I can't cry over the money left on the table. So this trade now is done for. It's not looking as good here for the afternoon. But just going back to that Nakamoto trade, KDLY, put that on our list. And, again, if SEPN starts to pop, I'll probably add that too. Another one, GRYP. This is also, I think, Bitcoin affiliated. This has to do with Bitcoin mining as well as one of Trump's sons. I think it was Eric Trump, if I'm not mistaken. So, his company merged with this one here, GRYP. Just pointing it out because the other day that news came out and it had a big pop, but not much really came out of it. It was like a quick pop and drop type of play. Hey, I mean, popped it back up on our radar here this morning. It's not looking as great now for the afternoon, but maybe keep it on your personal side list going into tomorrow, next week, etc. Especially if you follow Bitcoin with us here inside our live trading room, Fausto and myself together, that could be in play over time. WGRX. We keep going through. Listen, it'll be pretty quick and easy to see what's more worth watching heading into the afternoon than not because I just want it to be near the highs. That KDLY was like a no-brainer. That was easy. But otherwise, typically most of these trades from at least the morning, they tend to die off, lose their momentum, reverse. BTM. You know what? Here, give me a quick sec. I might need to, I just got to do this here. Jack that volume filter up a little bit and at least weed out the low volume crap. This stock is very pop and drop, so even if it looked better, I would have been pretty skittish with putting it on our list, but I feel like this one should come back down pretty fast. All right, I'll tell you what, I mean, nothing else that really stands out as a familiar name. NVAX, just wanted to see how that looked. Maybe Hertz, we did all right on that from the morning session. It did squeeze up a little bit earlier here in the afternoon, but now back down. So go to, pop and drop from earlier. We figured that would happen. Cisco, we don't really do much off of Cisco here, especially. I mean, earnings typically you'll see a stock make a good reaction, but it's not as often that Cisco makes a great day trade for us. Surprisingly enough, today I guess it did, but we weren't really on top of that as much today. Be transparent. It's easy to tell you, oh, I got in here, sold here. No, we shoot straight, so that one we didn't really focus as much on. Cold. Tell you what, we're going to focus on this trade here for the afternoon. Definitely more of a afternoon run. If the markets fall off, perhaps this can make a nice little squeeze up. Checking out another ETF that tends to go up when the markets are down or dropping. This one not doing as much yet, but natural gas ETF here at Cold. Chuck, you might be on top of this already, but KOLD looking pretty good. We've done well on that one in the past, quite a bit. Serve. SMR, nuclear trades, AI trades. This one's holding up pretty well. Leda called that one out just before too. Listen, OKLO popped really well yesterday. Hey, today it's SMR's turn. If you remember back from the other day, Rigetti was the trade yesterday that popped out of the quantum stocks. Hey, guess what was today? At least in the morning. Not as much now. But QBTS, this thing took off like a rocket. So, hey, if they're in the same sector, they're not going to move perfectly together. They might be kind of considered brother sister stock, or maybe they're cousins to a degree, but they're not the same. So one will move better than the other at times. Right now, SMR is going to be our flavor of the afternoon. Speaking of flavors, get my sweet tooth in here, a donut, but yeah, it's not looking as great. We've seen it trade better. And we're actually below 5% already at this point. Shit, SMR is at 4%. So, I mean, listen, there's not as much out there from the gainer side really here. What we'll do is hop over to the losers list, though, seeing if there's anything looking just as good. Make sure the volume filter is good here. It is. Okay. So NAOV, holy shit, what happened here? I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. The daily chart, just huge drop off back from the end of 23, but lower highs, big gaps, and right back down to the lows here. This thing is done. This is not done yet. You might think the stock's done because it's down 63%. Maybe long term it's done, but this stock could be a decent short if you're able to get shares. It's hard to borrow for me, but if you're able to get shares of this NFE, then this would be right up your alley. And then otherwise, if you can't short it, then I guess your game plan would be to look for a dead cat bounce. But hey, it's tradable, right? So I don't mind just slipping this on our list, more so for the people that could short it. But if we call it out saying it's going back up and above like 255 here, then perhaps you see shorts cover a little bit, small little spurt up to 3. There's a thought behind that, little dead cat bounce into the close. All right, we'll keep fishing through though here because not much that looks great otherwise. Not going to put all those small caps. You can't really short the small cap stocks like that. So that one just stood out to me. Is this Pfizer? Yeah, Pfizer. Not Pfizer, the pharmaceutical. Pfizer. Speech impediment kicking in there. Has good long-term support at first, roughly around July lows. It's not there yet, so there might be more downside room here on this Fiserv trade. Uh, a little more expensive. Order book's pretty thin. I know I went over that with a few of us earlier in the coaching program. It's not as worth it now, I feel. That's all. Dix, if that looks better, maybe, but even this looks more kind of flat sideways. This might be due for a bounce though over time. Fausto shorted this in the morning, had some fun on it on the way down. But this stock has been an absolute powerhouse of late. We talked about that in our room earlier today. The news out on it was just that they bought out Foot Locker. That's actually great news. It shows how healthy the company actually is, and it reflects within the stock price. So just because it's down today doesn't mean it's going to continue. If anything, when they're buying another larger company out, it's typically going to drop off the stock price, that is. So this could be a good swing trade in due time. If not, maybe today, maybe check it out by tomorrow, next week. Speaking of expensive stocks, at least right now, UNH, give me a quick moment. Give me a brief moment here, folks. My platform kind of freezing up a little bit here. Let me ask Genevieve, Bell, Dave, can all of our students hear me inside the live trading room? Should be good there. Let me know, folks. There we go. All right, my platform just unfroze. I believe that we are good to go now. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. UNH. All right, so the UNH trade, it finished its drop off earlier here, reversed shortly after 10:30 in the morning. Now we're done with it for right now. There's a little glitch on my platform there. I think things were frozen for a moment. Baba's dropping though. Wow, this thing's taking a huge hit from from after hours into the morning. Earnings came out, but this looks probably like your best shot here for a lower low. So I'll add Alibaba. Got Affirm. It dropped off earlier today. That could have been off of earnings too. Coinbase. Damn, this thing is flat as can be, huh? I thought there would be more movement on the way down here. Some news came out, the SEC potentially investigating them for what was it? Spiking their numbers on their users, like on a report that came out with how many users are on the platform. They misstated it apparently. But yeah, right now it's very flat. Right now, we're not going to put this on our list, at least now, but check it out tomorrow. If there's more downside here, this could be a pretty good short. The only issue is that Bitcoin's been so strong. So that's not as much of an issue, but it's just to say, if you're looking to short Coinbase, then that would be. Webull, this thing's been getting absolutely smacked off its IPO. I'm sure this could be a good buying opportunity in due time. Just for as much as it freaking tanked off its IPO, we knew that would happen. And now, actually, the order book is more filled in, so it becomes a bit more tradable for us. In due time, we're not going to put this on our list just yet, but I don't have my notepad in front of me either. That sucks. I'll have to write this down. But yeah, I'll write this down. I mean, I don't want to forget about this as far as a potential bounce over time, but don't force it. Right now, this thing is as flat and lower highs as can be. All right, hymns. Obviously one that we call out, talk about very frequently here, even if we don't put it on our list. Just know that we're pretty much watching it at all times now. It's like turned into a Palantir type of trade for us. Going back to my position here, the SEPN, this is going back up pretty nicely. So as we round up our meeting here, folks, Bell, Michael, Chuck, Kathleen, all of our students here inside the live trading room, let me know if there's anything else that I'd missed. But I'm going to put this on our list now. It's starting to prove itself a little bit more. Obviously we called it out from 950 area. It's been a great trade for a few of us, at least so far. And there could be more room on it now. So, all right, KDLY. Yeah, we got that one looking great there, Bell. If you're in on that one, then I'm sure you're killing it. CEP, yeah, a little pop on this one too. So this is one of the Bitcoin stocks as well. Cantor Equity Partners. Good support. That's some pretty damn good support. I got out on this as a swing trade from earlier in the week, made a few bucks a share on it, wanted a lot more, just didn't get it. That's fine. But, I kind of mentally moved on to greener pastures, and it's more so because of the order book. This has got a bad order book here, but I'm not going to be surprised at all. If anything, I'll expect it to go up basically with Bitcoin, over time. It's up 10% today, and it's just holding here. So if you want me to slip it on our list there, I will. try and do small size on that trade, if anything. It's not the type of stock you should be trading large size compared to something else, something like the SEPN, at least a little bit cheaper, a little bit more filled in of an order book, spread kind of tight now. So, all right, folks, I'll tell you what, I like what we got here heading into the afternoon. I'll just do one last call from Benzinga Pro. Maybe they'll find me something. GRYP. It's actually bouncing back up pretty damn nice. I normally don't focus on these like super cheapy stocks, but if it's staying over $1 and it's trying to go back up, then maybe. Let's see. SYTA. That's not good. A capper trade I'm going to pass on. CAPR. SEDG is going up a little bit here. Solar Edge. Solar has been a great trade of recent, right? Run's been popping up like no other. And it's a good swing trade still. This is a great swing trade over time, has been. And the fact it's holding here is pretty good. But you know what? I got a soft spot right now for this GRYP. If you want me to add one more to our list with Bitcoin trying to make a bounce, then perhaps it could be this. But folks, hey, I'll tell you what, we're going to finish up for right now. So if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Otherwise, subscribe right to our YouTube at CyberTradingU down below. But if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, we're here all week, Monday to Friday, from the morning into the afternoon. We begin in the pre-market hours too, as early as 7:30 Eastern. We open things up then. So if you wanted to join us, go right down to the link below, ctu.co/trial. I'll keep flapping my gums as that loads up one more time, scrolling on the bottom there if you're on YouTube or social media. But Bill, Kathleen, Debbie, got Dave, Genevieve, Margaret, Matt, Bill, Dave, all of our students here. Rich will be on the mic taking you into the close. So I'll be on a coaching call with one of our students here. Anything that I see, anything I jump into, we'll let you know. But as always, start and stick with this watch list here because it's a guarantee. It's going to give you the best chance to work with a nice runner here before the end of the day. And if anything else pops or magically gets halted here over time, Rich will call that out, or myself, if we're on Benzinga Pro, we'll call it out. But that's where I'll tell you, KDLY, you have a chance to make some great money on that. If you're not in already with me on the SEPN, perhaps, but a few more there too. Got some longs, got a couple shorts, so good variety there altogether. All right, folks, but hey, we'll be back on in just about 12, 15 minutes from right now. Talk to you soon.